kinds of people we're looking at here. Two different situations. If we both walked onto a plane, I would be the pilot, you would be a passenger. I am an innovator. You are an imitator. I'm a leader. You are a follower. I am a winner, and all of you are losers.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Exit stage left, exit stage right. There is no place to run. All the fuses in the exit side have been burned out.
Now I'm the one doing the challenging.
And starting this moment from now, from this moment on, this will be the moment, starting now, of the genesis of
the Professors of Wrestling.
So Dave,
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner.
That it is.
I have huge plans. You?
I don't. Usually that's not a big day of celebration at our casa.
Gotcha.
So the answer is we'll play it by ear.
All right.
It'll be a game day call.
Game day.
Usually because if you go out, the restaurants are full, and I think it's kind of a cliche thing, a little bit. So we may be, in our house, we may be just kind of like hanging low, kicking it, maybe just do something at home.
Okay.
How about you?
Who knows? It may take someone to a wrestling match.
Well, is there a wrestling match going on that day? That's a Friday. Isn't Valentine's Day a Friday this year?
All I gotta do is go to Florida. There's a wrestling match every day.
Well, that is a good point. Good point.
How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing good.
We are the Professors of Wrestling. I'm Dorrian.
I'm Dave.
And we want to be Taco Bell famous, so subscribe to our YouTube page. We are currently working on new content for 2020 every week. Like the Facebook page, let us know what you think, and provide us with feedback and suggestions. Follow us on Instagram at the Professors of Wrestling. Share it all, spread the word, join in the discussion. We want to be a community.
And we truly, truly mean that. Which brings us to the part of the show where we have this week's sponsor. It's the same as last week's sponsor, Ben Owens Music.
Hi, this is Dave from the Professors of Wrestling. I'm at 1803 Plum Street, home of Ben Owens Music, where they've got basses, electric guitars, acoustic guitars, violins, keyboards, guitar pedals, amps, instrument repair, guitar, drum, and piano lessons. Learn from the experts. Ben Owens Music, Valdosta's music store.
Every time I see that, amazing job, Dave.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to, I already got the idea for the next video. We need to figure out a time and a day to do it.
Okay.
On it. Anyway, Botch Takes. We did have one last week, and it was on both ours pronunciation.
Yeah, it's not Wasu, it's Wasaw.
Yeah. So we need to thank Mara Russell
And
and Alexander Knight for correcting us and providing the phonetic pronunciation, and we'll talk about the results from that later on in the show. But if you catch any of our botch takes, we get something wrong, please let us know. Call us out. We're human.
Yeah, we are. We got news.
Lots of news this week.
This one first comes from Spinebuster. Spinebuster Wrestling Academy is always looking for men and women that want to be the next superstar of the ring, whether it be as a wrestler, referee, manager, valet, or etc. Hit them up at 229-300-5729 and let them make your dream come true.
Yes. How many? Yeah, do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. We got a review. We've been kind of like going back and forth a little bit with the Georgia History Wrestling people and the gentleman that does the Be Kind review.
Reviewed the whole show.
Said he was going to do it. And then I was going back and forth with him to see if maybe we could meet up when we went to Atlanta a couple weeks ago for NWA. He was going to the Sunday taping. We went to the Saturday taping, but maybe our paths will cross in the future if we're both. I think I would like to go back to NWA, but that's a whole other can of worms. And dedicated his whole vlog to our podcast.
I thought it was an interesting review, very honest.
Yeah.
Things we talked about definitely was something that was informative. And it was cool how he broke down the whole entire show.
I appreciate it. And I can appreciate differences of how he does stuff, how he does his, podcast or his vlog, excuse me. And it's always good to get somebody that's outside the bubble and how does that perceive. So that was really cool. And when he's like originally like, I'll be an honest critique. I think we're always open for an honest critique and feedback, whether it's from outsiders reviewing it, like the Be Kind review, or fans that want to give us feedback on stuff. Clint or Beatrice or any of the promotions out there. I can honestly say I do appreciate that. And I can appreciate when he says, well, that's just how I would do it, that he's coming from of like, there's not a right way to do something, whether, one of his critiques is our intros are too long, maybe there's some validity to it, but I think that's a style thing, but I can appreciate that, like, he goes, well, I do my intro my way, you do your intro your way. So, but I think it gave me pause to think about, well, as we come up here on our first year of the show,
what are some things that
we can do differently? What are some improvements we make? Because we can't get better
if no one tells us.
Exactly. So the food and bond. And he says he wants to work with us in the future, and that's always exciting.
I like that.
So yeah, check out the Be Kind review and subscribe to his vlog. He provides some interesting takes. It's a kind of a lot of different things going on there. It's a good slice of his life is what's going on. So I find it entertaining when I watch it.
We'll drop the link in the description.
We will.
Be a part of the show. Send us your promos. Help us help you. We're always looking forward to helping promote wrestlers, promotions,
fan takes. I think one of the things we get is like, I want to be a part of your show, and there's a certain dynamic between us two that we've been building on and we need to work on. But I think it's like, if you want to send something, you want to be on the show, cut us a video promo or an audio promo. Make sure it's like in an MP3 or a waveform. How would it need to be in video? MP4, so that we can put it in the show. So everybody who's like, I want to take part, this is the one part. Unless it's like really just vulgar, and just something crude that we don't want to, we wouldn't endorse. We'll put it out there.
I'll plug it in. No problem.
Rockstar Adrenaline Wrestling. Just got an update as I was prepping this morning from James. Exciting. He is working on potential sponsors and securing a permanent venue. So this will be in Douglas, Georgia. And he's looking for area talent and some that I could bring into the area. So this is exciting news, and this is something we're going to, once it gets going, and hopefully in fall of 2020,
be a part of.
Yes, and taking the fold and something else to report on and kind of go into what they were talking about in the Be Kind review is like, I think it's kind of build up and support, because we've been called to the carpet as this area, and it's not, and I agree, it's not an us versus them, and I kind of agree, we were kind of having fun with the South Georgia versus everybody. It's kind of a little bit tongue-in-cheek with that, but definitely if we want to be part of like the bigger picture and be taken more seriously, we need to really pull our big people pants up
and start covering all these area promotions.
Yes.
We have a big announcement coming to you next episode.
Yes.
Pretty vague, but hey, it's a big announcement, a huge announcement.
Teaser. It's a teaser, and then also we've got an interview with David Williams, aka Duke Silver,
coming to you next week.
Yes, a week from today.
So look out for it, support it, and we hope you like it. Audience takes.
Several this week. Several.
We're growing. This one comes from Clint, who is the best up-and-coming indie pro wrestler in our area.
You want to go first on that?
Not it.
Best up-and-coming indie pro wrestler in the area. Gosh. We talked about like who we like.
Right.
In the area. And I always think of looking at it like up-and-coming. I feel like I'm pivoting on this. I'm trying to delay. Anything like that.
I got one. If you
I'm going through my head. Yes, go ahead. You go first.
I got you. I'll go with Frank.
Frank Vowdy?
Frank Vowdy.
Okay.
I think where we saw him a year ago to where he is now, I think he's more focused on wrestling. You see that his craft has grown. Mm-hmm. He's more of a face to the fans, so his relationship with the fans has grown. His wrestling has improved, and I think pretty soon, as we start to get into news about Sunbelt, Frank may be the person to do some damage.
While you were stalling for me on here, some of the best up and coming is I'm gonna go this one. I'm gonna say Proc the Croc. He dipped away for a little bit to deal with some issues.
Yeah.
Dealt with a lot of WLs. Bounced back, and we'll talk about what's going on with him and what's happening in Sunbelt for the next event show that they're putting on. I would say he's one of the best. I mean, I think we both could name. I don't think it's just one person. I mean, you could throw Hold My Beer. I could throw David Ali in that.
J2 Strong.
J2 Strong. I could say Lexi Gomez.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
It's the young core is definitely doing whatever they can to help build the ship.
And I think it's exciting to see this as a stepping stone to them going on and future success, I think we both hope. So, and Clint goes on to say, who do you think is the best indie pro wrestler in the area today?
And that's something that I think I put who's the best champion on the Facebook. And I was surprised by some of the results that came from this.
What were some of the ones?
We got J2 Strong.
Yeah.
We had Skrilla. But one name seemed to be missing. Hunter Mako.
I would agree.
And I got to throw his name out there. I mean, he did hold the Spartan title championship for over a year.
Yes.
That's over 365 days.
That is mathematically correct.
So I got to give it to him. When I think about a winner, I think about Hunter Mako.
I would throw in there, and he would go into the best up and coming. I would throw Hold My Beer in the up and coming, not the best, because we got to see where he goes with that one and build his brand and what he goes about. I would also say like David Ali in there.
It's growing.
Yes. The Outlaw reached out to us and we're like, how many Outlaws are there? He's part of the mask, and there are 3 of them altogether, and the son of the Outlaw can only be blamed on the whiskey. So please take that to heart, people out there. Accidents do happen, and whiskey can be one of the causes for one of those. So thank you, Outlaw. And I'm going to say this as a surprise, is we've seen the Outlaw at several events.
Yeah.
And he can be kind of aggressive, kind of offensive. Very cordial response.
I was very surprised by that.
Yes. So thank you, Outlaw. We appreciate it.
This next one comes from Sam Skaggs, and I'll take the first one.
All right.
He wants to hear our take on the new buzz coming from Georgia wrestling history, recognizing not only South Georgia, but our podcast as well for being the news source. He wants us to hit you all hard with what they need to do as promoters, wrestlers, and fans to make sure that love is showcased.
So what do you want to take? You want to stab at this one first?
Sure, I'll take it.
All right.
I mean, looking at it, I'm excited that we got recognized by Georgia wrestling history.
Right.
I know that's something that doesn't come too lightly. I think that us as an audience, promoters, wrestlers, and fans, I think the interaction has to be out there. Mm-hmm. The interaction between the fans and the wrestlers. One of the things that I took from the Be Kind review was, at moments he was wondering, oh, I didn't know this promotion was here, or where's this promotion coming from? And as we start to grow, we start to find those promotions that are still in South Georgia. So I think one of those things is growing that interaction, probably even mapping out South Georgia wrestling promotions and calling that and getting that out there.
I think to even further what you said is when I pitched this idea last year, we had been going for a while and looking at like what is missing is a lack of getting information out to fans, other promotions, any of the people in the area. And specifically when I was putting this idea that I pitched you, like, you want to do this or not, is like there's a lot of stuff, podcasts and video stuff about what's going up on north of the state, and that's fine because it's just what happens when you're in bigger metropolises, and it's in an area that's like in Atlanta attracts people to move there for various reasons. So one of the things was to help create a buzz, give recognition to these promoters that maybe don't have the time, the money, or the resources to dedicate this, and we wanted to put this together too. And we've said this before, and this is a platitude, and this is a cliche. I 100% admit that this a rising tide lifts all ships. That we have to help each other out, and particularly on a local level. And we shouldn't wait for somebody else to do this. Somebody shouldn't wait for something to happen. Like, you should do this. You should not just do it. The tools and the resources are out there, and we've been very specific on in our plan of how we're going about doing this and growing what we're doing, and how we've reached out to promotions and wrestlers, and slowly in doing this slow and steady. So am I surprised? I'm always surprised when getting recognition on that. Am I surprised that he dedicated a whole episode to us? Was I surprised with this feedback? Yeah, because you don't know how people are going to react to what you're doing. So that was pretty exciting. I think he threw out some really good points on how everybody really needs to up their game, and that the gauntlet has been thrown out. We got to work together, and we all got to support each other. That's this will fall apart. The whole thing going on, and I think it's exciting when he said, "Yeah, we need to start considering South Georgia," and it's cool to be the catalyst that makes that happen. And maybe this is kind of waking the sleeping bear, the sleeping giant, whatever that is, and to kind of grow this, and it becomes a platform for younger talent to go and move up the food chain, to make this a career, to make this something that they wanted, to make these dreams come true, to not feel like they're stifled or they reach a glass ceiling because they're stuck in a particular region. And that could also be an attraction to draw other talent down to these promotions as well. So there's a lot of possibilities that could happen here. That's the exciting part, the potential. And now we've got to fulfill our end of what that potential is.
That is true. Man, we have our work
Yes.
ahead of us. I also wanted to congratulate South Georgia Promotions. Mm-hmm. That idea of, now that there isn't a divide almost, that they want to bring South Georgia into the fold of Georgia wrestling history. So congratulations to South Georgia.
I think recognition to I can imagine having produced shows before, the work, the time, and the effort into it. And I think dealing with a lot of moving pieces, those people and those promotions need to get that recognition.
Yep.
So the second part is the Royal Rumble just happened. What was your favorite Royal moment ever? Oh man, what was your favorite Royal Rumble moment ever? I'm gonna give this as I tend to focus, other than NWA, focus most of my energies of paying attention to what's going on with the independent promotions. So Sam, I don't have an answer for you.
I got one.
Okay.
It was Rey Mysterio when he won his Royal Rumble. He had come in at number 2.
Yeah.
And won the whole thing. And I thought that was just important because he would later go on to win the championship. And it was a moment for the underdog. So it's kind of like how we are. We come in, probably not the newest podcast. And now we're working our way up.
Yeah, definitely. That's all this week's audience takes. We've gone to several shows, so we had car time.
Yeah.
We had some Taco Bell time.
Taco Bell was amazing.
It was. That was a good week. The last 2 weeks have been just good on the food reviews. But anyway, something to chew on. The Be Kind review. I think we touched on some of that when addressing, what is Sam's question.
Right.
But I think most importantly, and I'm going to reiterate this, is South Georgia Promotions. We got to help each other out.
So if you're a South Georgia promotion and you know that you want to get the word out there about your promotion for more fans to come in, more participation, let us know where you are at.
We'll come out and we'll do what we can, but then you have to put the effort in too. It's not just us. You can't just. I think the problem is you can't just rely on one group or one person to do all the work. It's got to be everybody kind of working together. So I view this. I felt it was a put up or shut up point.
Right. I agree.
We got invited to go to a Georgia independent wrestling show up in Macon. We need to determine whether we're going to go to that one or not.
I'm kind of excited. I do want to go because there's a champion there called Skrilla. He was one of the names on who people thought was the best champion.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see if that truly holds weight.
And that does fall under our new Rand McNally, what we've been titled with. That falls under South Georgia. Though, what was the real South Georgia line? You just
Sylvester.
Okay. And we've been there before for a
show.
Sunbelt show, I believe. Or yeah. Anyway, so we'll be talking about that show later on. NWA, real quickly.
We went. It was fun. If anyone is going to the next show, the Crockett Cup, wherever it may be located,
Yes.
let us know and we'll hang out.
Let's do Professors of Wrestling. Like, we like to go to the Vortex.
Yeah.
Get a burger. Sometimes a tasty beverage.
And then we like to go watch NWA.
So hit us up on that if you're thinking about going up to NWA when the Crockett Cup goes recording. And then you had this idea.
All right. This is for any Spinebuster Championship fan. I have an idea, as we like to pitch shows. It is a round of 16 tournament where you take the 4 champions and you pit them off against some incomers, like King of the Ring style. Mm-hmm. And whoever wins becomes the face of Spinebuster. Because right now when you think of Spinebuster, who do you think of?
Mostly AMH probably gets a lot of the FaceTime or hold my beer. Probably J2 Strong.
Okay.
Since he's come back and taken that title from Mako.
So it'd be a King of the Ring tournament to determine who would be the face of Spinebuster.
I like it. That's a good fantasy book.
I try.
It's a good one.
This next one, super excited that we went.
Oh my God. We got invited back in the fall. Late fall, like November, December.
Okay.
We couldn't go because
we were all end of the year, finals.
Going out of town.
Hybrid Pro.
Oh, I'm so glad we went.
It was Heart of Glory.
Yes.
In Daleville, Alabama.
I think we need to set up. It was a road trip for us. It was long. I think we talked about expanding our 2-hour circumference.
Right.
And getting out of just the Georgia, North Florida stuff. I think someone invites us, we got to go at least once.
Right.
And we have been reporting on it. Or they reached out to us. I thought it was our due diligence.
And I thought it was a great due diligence.
Yes.
Shout out to Nancy.
Yes. Well, I think, explain. Why don't you just explain our whole road? It was a road trip.
It was a road trip. We crossed the line. We didn't know that it's an hour behind.
Yeah.
At one point. So we went to Taco Bell.
Well, we thought we were going to get something to eat because we were hungry.
Right.
And then we were like, okay, we'll get there and the doors will open and we'll have we won't. You get there too early sometimes and it gets boring.
Right.
We didn't realize that they were in Central Time, not Eastern Time.
So, what is it? We stopped at Taco Bell.
Right.
Then we made it to the VFW, chilled out. We have photos.
But I think we need the important part is we walked in. It was like angels singing because they had a bar.
That is true. They had a bar.
So we were able to have a beverage or two. And I want to say, prices for beverages, crazy reasonable.
Yes.
And you could take those into the show as long as they were in a plastic cup.
Very responsible, and I appreciate that.
And then what were you going to say about Nancy? Sorry,
It's all good.
I think the details are important, man.
It's all in the details. I was just saying thank you, Nancy, because she was pretty cool.
Yes.
First match, Outspoken versus TCC for the AIWF Southern Tag Team Championship. Again, Outspoken came out with this face mask, and the other guy had like a megaphone, teasing and taunting. I think TCC was more of a rough strength, and they're going to tackle and do whatever they can to take down this Outspoken team. The fans definitely had a good reception to TCC versus
the Outspoken.
Yeah.
I think it was a strong open.
Yeah.
I think the venue, the way they arranged it, and you could tell who the fans were supporting at the end of the day. So when TCC won and maintained their AIWF Southern Tag Team Champion, crowd was not disappointed.
I think when you speak about how it's set up, when you're looking at Hybrid Pro, they have a table in the front that goes around, and then you also have the chairs behind it.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool.
I think any seat in that place was great.
Yes. Full view of the ring. Not a bad seat in the house.
No.
Next one, we get into the three-way match.
Right.
It is MT2 versus Ryan Phoenix and the pop star, Johnny Romano.
We've been seeing a lot of the pop star lately.
It's like we're super fans following him all
I know.
around.
Like we're stalking him, creeping.
I'll let you take it away.
Well, getting into it, I think this was the first time we had seen MT2 and Ryan Phoenix going into there. And what I liked, I thought it was a great balance. It was a great back and forth. I think the crowd was into it. You could see, obviously, who they were rooting for. Johnny had a lot of fans. I believe they're called Pop-Tarts.
Really?
I think that is what he refers to his fan base as, back and forth. And again, following that tag team match, right, that was a strong open. You come in there with a three-way, which can be awkward at times, just because you're working on it and balancing out between everybody to be able to get their spots in and work the crowd. Did a great job, and you saw in there that there was like, I think like Ryan Phoenix and MT2 tried to work on Johnny. At first, there was like a lot of staring off to, but it eventually built into like everybody for themselves, which I think is really when you want to in a three-way, that's how it should be.
You got to get to it to make sure you win. And what happened after this match was pretty cool. It was someone's birthday.
Yeah,
it was
we didn't announce the winner yet.
Oh yeah, it was Ryan. Oh, Ryan Phoenix.
Yes.
Defeated the pop star Johnny Romano and MT2.
Yeah.
And even in a loss, you always gotta admire Johnny Romano in his relationship with his Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
And the fact that he took the time to wish the super fan a happy birthday, and we all sung.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool of him.
Good time. It was superly fan friendly. Which took us to the next match, which is the Grand Design Clyde Braddocks versus Frederick Jaeger and Beast. Like Clyde is a beast.
He backs it up. I thought anytime someone comes out and their name is the Grand Design or the Plan, the Awesome One, you think, well, can they truly wrestle, or are they just saying this to hype themselves up?
And a lot of this was the first time for us seeing these two cats in the ring, and for just when he came out, he was like, "I'm what a wrestler looks like." And when you think of the WWE models, big, kind of muscly, coming out there, 100%.
He took care of business every minute of that match.
And as he walked and he backed up what he said and walked away with the W.
Yes. This next one seemed to be a crowd favorite. It was Stunt Marshall.
Yes.
And versus Michael Steele.
We're both Stunt Marshall fans.
That is true. Michael Steele, Man of Steel, tall.
Yes.
So he has that height advantage over Stunt Marshall. Power-wise, he had that too.
Yeah.
And we're thinking about how is Stunt Marshall going to operate? How is he going to be able to show his quickness and move around the ring? Well, thankfully his manager was around.
Who does not like a good manager that's good on the mic and also helpful when needed as a distraction?
And his manager definitely took care of business to help him as much as he could.
Yeah.
That was no match for Michael Steele.
Dude was 6'1", hits the gym, probably on a low protein diet or high protein diet, low carbs, in great shape. And again, the crowd.
This was one of the crowd favorites.
Yes.
In Michael Steele.
Which, after that one, brings us to the AIWF Southern Junior Heavyweight Championship between Street Bandit and Logan Stevens. Street Bandit, we've seen the Street Bandit before, haven't we?
We have.
And what happened and occurred in there, obviously using his handcuffs, a lot of the, I don't know, it's like a variation of what the Soviet Assassin does.
Or maybe he's an off-brand cousin of the Outlaw.
It could be like a second or third cousin or something along that lines, or it could be like a half brother of some sort. We don't know. Another whiskey night.
That's a storyline for you.
Yes, it is. on there. Great match, back and forth. But Logan Stevens got caught, or what got caught holding what was being used against him. Bell rang. Street Bandit thinks he wins, but you can't win a belt on a DQ.
You cannot. And I was very sad or upset. Come on, David. You know Logan Stevens wouldn't do that.
And I felt sorry for a certain point for the ref because he was getting a lot of slack. But this one, like, how could you miss this?
It's the anointed one. It says it in the name.
Yeah.
But
this is going to build up to what's going to happen in March 7th. We'll talk about in just a minute.
yes. And what is it? To end the night, it was for the hybrid champion. It was between the hybrid champion, Callie and the hybrid national champion, Cameron Thomas.
Yeah. It was like a tag team. We're in a tag team bout.
Gotcha. Versus Sanson and Chuck Diamond.
Yes. And back and forth, there was a lot of aggression. It was interesting because it seemed like this was the first time some of these had been tag team champion. Obviously, they're much more on the individual side,
right?
The solo. So seeing that back and forth, and the hybrid champions, both of them, the Cali Man and Cameron Thomas, walked away with the W there.
I love their intro.
Yeah.
California Love. They can tease the crowd and work the crowd even as heels.
Yeah.
And make them wonder. Like, this was the match where you saw fans get on their feet and actively root against people like the Cali Man. And
I think I want to asterisk on this one is like I think it seemed like the first time Chuck Diamond and Sanderson, or maybe they're a new tag team, because we had seen Cali Man and Cameron Thomas before, like at Night of Champions at SWA.
Right.
So they've got a
rapport.
And Cali Man is always very thankful. We noticed that. But a great evening, and I just want to say I look forward to going back on March 7th.
Same. Wouldn't miss it.
And let's see, do you want to quickly just go over what matches they have booked at this point?
There will be a rematch for the AIWF Junior Heavyweight Championship between Logan Stevens and the Street Bandit. Stipulations have not been set yet.
I think it needs to be, this is my 2 cents, and this is the fantasy booking, it needs to be no DQ.
Only way to do it.
Eliminate any possible distractions, because if Dave's going to be back in that ring or somebody else is, don't give them an excuse to
ring the bell.
Yeah.
Next up, no particular order, is the Hybrid National Championship, Cameron Thomas versus Suicidal Soldier.
Yep.
Ryan Phoenix versus Delicious Don Yoder. Because Ryan Phoenix and Outspoken haven't been eye to eye since the breakup of Breed of War.
That's something we're not too familiar with, and maybe we need to do a little bit of a researching.
Before March 7th.
Yep.
And then there's more to be determined, more to be announced, and we look forward to this one.
If you're in the Daleville area, we will be doing a little bit of relaxing and chilling. Hopefully Nancy will be bartending.
Yep.
At the show, so look for us. Come by and say hello.
Bell time at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Next, it's time for my favorite thing in the world to say. Yes. DCCW, Destiny Combat Championship Wrestling, returns March 14th. And if you're following them on Facebook, they have started to release the card in a series of videos. So, please look out for them March 14th.
And we need to determine if we have any conflicts of interest, and should we go to that show?
Okay.
Spinebuster is coming back March 4th, and it's looking like a pretty good stacked card on there. Catalina Perez.
Queen Pin
is going against Reagan Fire on that one. And just looking at this one, I don't see how much chance Reagan Fire has. Just quick thoughts on that one.
She's back. We didn't see her wrestle as much at the Chaos. Yes, she had her moments in the Battle Royal. Mm-hmm. But I think Catalina Perez is out to prove something to AMH.
Yeah.
She's the only one now, I would say, without a title. And you got to hold your weight to be a part of the biggest faction in Spinebuster.
100%.
So, will this propel her to be the number one contender?
Another bout on the card is David Ali, their current Titan champion, versus Hayden Price, who we've both have argued deserves a championship shot.
Yes.
and would be a great champion.
Fighting champion.
A fighting champion, has the skills, and I think it has a good chance to take that belt away from David Ali, who I would argue is great in the ring, but can be easily distracted.
There's outside forces, I would say, that are going to keep David Ali distracted for this one. I don't think you'll see him as champion at the end of the night.
I mean, I wonder, like, it seems like there's a schism in AMH. And where is that going to go? Are they going to be able to resolve that? Obviously, they got rid of one of their problems.
Connor Mason is a no-go.
He's axed on there. Which brings us to a tag team that we both enjoy, Southern Strong Style.
They're back.
They're back.
Together.
Yes. Against the AMH champions, Mako.
And Preston.
So could this be a night
where AMH loses all their belts?
Yeah.
One would hope, but I think you have to think about what matters most to Preston Paradise and Hunter Mako. Winning.
Yeah.
By any means necessary. So even through a schism, we may think that David Ali will lose. Or I'll think that he'll lose.
Yeah.
But I think Preston's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that his belt.
Well, they're not going to have Connor Mason out there to run interference.
I still think, though, we may see a surprise member join AMH.
I think it's going to go. I'll say at the bottom here. Next is a tag team, and we saw this coming at the last at the Clash at the Coliseum when Prince Handsome and Hembrakato are going against Lexi Gomez and Sherlonda Royale.
My money, I'm backing Lexi Gomez and Sherlonda Royale.
I would be in agreement with that one.
There's no hiding. Prince Handsome can't do any sneak attacks on this one.
No.
All eyes will be on him. It's an even fight.
I think the Sweeper and Duke are going to have their hands full on that one. Whichever two are going to referee that.
Yeah.
So, also Alex Todd, who we saw in their Falls Count Anywhere pin or submission. What was that called? At the Clash of the Coliseum.
Can't tell you how.
It was just like it was a take on the kind of like a battle royal.
But you had to win by pin
or submission. We saw him in there briefly. Didn't probably see him at his best just because there was. I mean, where do you look? Because there was so much to see and watch. Is versus the Scorcher.
Alex Todd versus the Scorcher.
And we're both high on the Scorcher.
Yes, we are. This is his year. We've seen him come back. He's definitely more agile. You see the new moves and the new talent that he's bringing. But I want to say that we're seeing new talent fully, I guess, for the first time in this moment, to where I think Alex Todd could do a little damage. Surprise all the fans.
So I think that's going to be kind of one to watch, and I'm excited. I'll be interested to see what you think of Mr. Alex Todd, and let's see if the Scorcher can keep on his upward trajectory that he was kind of working on. There's some other. I imagine there'll be some more matches announced as come time for on March 4th. So pay attention to them on the social media and all that fun stuff. We got a conflict on February 15th. Broken Bones Wrestling is having a one-night tournament for its first ever Broken Bones Championship, and that's going to be in Waycross, Georgia. And that's pretty much. I mean, we've seen the flyer, we've seen the people on it, but we kind of like don't know how that's going to work. So
new talent. We'll have to probably discuss how we're going to spend that day.
Yeah,
and where we're going to go from there.
We got a choices to make.
Yeah, but if you're in the Waycross area, please go out, check out Broken Bones Wrestling. Support
all independent South Georgia wrestling if you can.
That's what I'd do.
To the best of your ability.
Good deal. Sunbelt. Brooks has a huge announcement coming soon.
AKA this week. I tried to get it from him this morning. I was prepping. And this week.
This week.
But I did get this information. Okay. Southern States Championship Wrestling is returning after a 4-year hiatus to Nashville, Georgia. They are doing. They put on shows around since 2003, and so what? So it's been since 2016 since they put on a show. around South Georgia, returning for a special event. And I know this is in conjunction. They're working with our friends at Sunbelt. And it's another anti-bullying campaign that's going to be happening in Nashville, Georgia on May 2nd. Saturday. That's a Saturday at, was it Brennan? Is that how you pronounce that? Berrien. Catch me on my mispronunciation. County Middle School in Nashville, Georgia. Bell time is at 7 p.m. And look for the card this week. So as soon as we get it, we will post it up on our page and look for South States Championship Wrestling over your favorite social media.
Hype.
Yes.
SWA, we have news and updates from the return to Wausau.
Yes.
I'm on it. It was the Nightmare Syndicate back in action against the Real Deal Ryan Holland and Nathan Phoenix. And guess who's on the upward trajectory?
Nightmare Syndicate.
Back as a tag team. Mm-hmm. Could we see them go for their own tag team championship?
Well, I said Task Force out of the picture. Who knows?
Yeah. Sanson versus Waylon Barley. Hate to miss a good chance to see Waylon Barley. But Waylon wins on a sidewalk slam. And many can wonder, what's next?
That's a good question. The Devil Dogs versus the Society, and we've never seen any of those two teams. Devil Dogs win by DQ. Hansel.
We know Hansel.
Huh?
We know Hansel.
Okay, yeah, but we didn't know what team is.
Yeah.
So there was that. They won by DQ on that one, which brings us to Marcus O'Reilly and Cali Man. We're familiar with the Cali Man. Thank you. Cali Man loses, but said that there was some objects used in there. So then after checking, there was a DQ. But it even gets worse or more confusing is Cali Man must be a good sleight of hand. Apparently placed it there while he was being pinned. So this looks like a feud that could be happening between Marcus and Cali Man in the future on that one. And then that brings us to the final bout here.
Chris Spider, Dark Rage, and Nathan Phoenix versus Preston Veston, the Soviet Assassin, and the Mayor of Wrestling.
We have never seen the Mayor in the ring, just other than a valet.
Wow. If you have photos, please send that one in. I'd love to see it. And It was a 6-man tag, and we have to say that the winners were Preston Veston, Soviet Assassin, and the Mayor.
Of course.
So, fans, continue to support SWA.
Yes.
Especially as we head into Full Throttle.
I would say on there it says Pavo Elementary, but that is the same as the Peacock Center, apparently.
Yes.
It's confusing.
The first match that we see is the Nightmare Alexander Knight versus El Nino.
We know who we're going to be rooting for.
True. This is it. It's a hardcore match from what we heard at the last show.
Yeah, Night of Champions.
Who's going to... There's no hiding.
No.
No hiding for El Nino. And he'll probably have Embricato behind him.
We'll wait and see, but that's going to be an interesting match. I think Alexander Knight has something to prove because he did not fare well, regardless of how it happened.
The other 2 times.
Yeah.
So we'll be there. We'll be looking out for seeing who's going to win. This next one, the SWA Southeastern Championship. It'll be between that freaking guy, Stephen Frick.
Yes.
And the scoundrel, Rod Grimes.
We know who is going to be rooting for Rod and where Beatrice and her family are going to be sitting. They'll probably have Rod Grimes t-shirts supporting. We know the opposite side will not be rooting for Rod Grimes.
No, it's one big back and forth of Rod sucks and Rod is God.
Yes, and the first time we saw that freaking guy was at Night of Champions, right?
Yes.
So, impressed with that freaking guy, Stephen Frick. But does he have what it takes? I mean, Rod Grimes cheats. Does, even with the kangaroo not there.
He is, as he would like to say, the face of SWA.
Yeah.
Front of the poster, side of the poster. He wants to be the person who uplifts and defends that title.
More people love rooting against Rod Grimes. Like, they come. I feel like they come to that show
just to see him.
To get like that week's aggravations out, just pour out whatever crap happened, just and take it out on the Rod Grimes. Who do you see winning that?
I'm gonna go with The Scoundrel. I'll go with the Scoundrel winning.
I'm gonna have to second that one.
But all the best to that freaking guy. Mm-hmm. This next one is for the SWA Southeastern Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
SCOTUS, Scyther and Dan Lydon.
Yes. And we don't know who they're going against, but I think that's gonna be some match of some sort. When we find out, we will let you know.
Also in contention and people who will be there, Hoodstar Dark Rage.
Yep.
Hardway Brother, Preston Veston III, Nathan Phoenix, Chungus, King of the Lightweights, Chris Spider, and the Nightmare, other half of the Nightmare Syndicate, Aiden Knight.
So that is also happening on February 15th, so it's causing a schedule conflict with Broken Bones Wrestling. And then quickly, Leap Year Madness is happening at Baker County Gym in Newton, Georgia. On Saturday, February 29th for SWA, scheduled an action. The Scoundrel, Rod Grimes. The Nightmare Syndicate, both Aiden and Alexander Knight will be in tag team action. The Soviet Assassin with his manager, the Mayor of Wrestling, also a part-time three-way tag team partner. Hoodstar Dark Rage, the King of the Lightweights, Chris Spider, the Good Old Boys, the Hardway Brother, Preston Veston III, plus much more soon to be announced as the card gets announced. Which brings us to Georgia Independent Professional Wrestling happening on February 23rd at the Thirsty Turtle in Macon, Georgia. Bell time, 5 p.m. I think we've decided we're going to go to that.
Yes, I'm definitely excited. The card looks amazing. I'll run through it. We've seen a good bit of these people.
Yes.
First up is the women's triple threat, Reagan Fire versus Shalandra Royale versus Persia Pierce.
We saw Persia Pierce at Night of Champions.
Go against Ember Cato.
Right.
And we're seeing Reagan Fire pretty soon, as well as Shalandra Royale. When you're looking at this match, it definitely screams athleticism, endurance. Prepare for some, I guess, huge chops.
And, I mean, we have seen Reagan Fire, a handful of times?
Yeah.
Shalandra Royale, a lot more. And we saw first time seeing Persia Pierce was at Night of Champions last month. Last month. I think all three are athletic, super capable, but I would lean towards Shalanda, and maybe that's a personal bias of some sort, seeing what, and maybe because I've seen her the most of the three.
Okay.
Know what she brings to the ring. Knows she may or may not have more experience than those other two women, but that's just my take on that.
I think I'll go for Persia.
Okay.
I'll pick that way.
Is she just like what is it? You're the outlier, the underdog,
the one that we've seen the least.
Okay.
I'll go for that one.
All right.
Next is Best of Three Falls, Transcendent versus West Coast Kings. Excited to meet them and see what this whole thing is about.
I mean, this is new territory for us. This is the farthest north. What was Sylvester was probably the farthest north before this?
Yes.
Okay.
This next one we've seen one half for the GIPW Championship match. It's Clyde Braddock versus Skrilla, and I was telling you earlier that this is someone that I'm looking forward to seeing as people hyped up as being one of the best independent champions.
So we get a guy who says he looks like a wrestler. We've seen him once.
Right. Can he follow through against the champ?
Also, a 6-man Unchained match to determine the number one contender. You want to go through the names on this?
Mr. Wright, D Money, Wild Thing, J.C. Kelly, Troy Navarro, and Sean Angelo Montana. It looks good. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this starts. Again, this is new territory for us, so...
I think, isn't Bryce Canyon?
Our good old friend Bryce Canyon is back from...
Is he going to be there with his new frat buddy?
I look forward to seeing it.
I hope so. I hope that it's not listed on the card from what I can tell. And that's mostly on the flyer, which you should be seeing right now. I think the reason we should go up this, too, is, one, this is a fundraiser for, I believe, a shelter, and the admission's $8, super reasonable, or a 10-pound bag of dog food, and one 10-pound bag of dog food covers one person's entry fee into it. So it's for a good cause. If you're up in the area, you're looking for a road trip, you're looking for something to do on a Sunday, check it out. And if we're there, come by and say hello to us. If you see us and recognize us.
Hopefully.
Food
reviews, as we have been eating
a
lot.
Crazy.
Start with, what is it? SWA and work our way down.
Well, maybe we've talked about SWA before, so that's we know we're super fans of the nachos.
Hybrid Pro. They're game changers. Barbecue nachos.
Pulled pork
On top of cheese, on top of tortilla chips.
Yes.
I was very happy.
Also, fries. Fresh made to order. Crinkle cut. Like, on top of that, nacho, chili, cheese, fries.
And not that ghost spread cheese.
No, that was like it was a unique cheese. It wasn't like canned cheese. There was some, I don't know, there was a little bit of a different flavor versus regular canned nacho cheese.
I was very happy with Hybrid Pro.
Game changer all around, top shelf. The promoter asked us how we enjoyed it. I'm like, card was well, everything was well paced.
Yes.
The venue, top shelf, like really everybody was super friendly.
They were.
And considering like probably wrestling at the VFW, although historically they've happened at VFW, everybody was super welcoming and just really, really great. There was karaoke on one side of the VFW and wrestling going on the other. So if we wanted to keep the evening going,
we could have sang a song.
We could have had a couple songs in there.
Gotcha.
What else did we do? The Taco Bell somewhere in Alabama.
Yeah, we just stopped at the Buffalo chicken fries at Taco Bell. I had those.
How would you rate those?
I'd go with 3. They weren't as hot.
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10?
Yeah.
All right. This is my critique of Taco Bell lately. They've got the DIY kiosk where you punch the stuff in there.
Right.
I don't know where I stand on it. Maybe I'm old school. I like to talk to somebody. I don't like... Now I kind of have my regular order. I mix it up from time to time. But I just like the human interaction part. And I was confused. I forgot what I thought I had ordered something else. For a second, I thought they had given me the wrong order, but it was me. This is the future. I need to embrace it. I'm not old man yelling at clouds here, but I don't know. I'm not trying to. I don't know if I'm a fan of it.
Kiosk is taking over.
Yeah.
Did you know that pretty soon if you're going through a drive-thru, they'll know by your license plate what your order is?
Probably. But then what's the difference between that when you go to like your regular place? Like I go into Nick's. No, to Ella's Top Corral. They know.
This is what Dave's going to get.
This is what Dave's going to get. I like the unsweet tea. They've got it. I love it.
I don't know. The future, Dave.
The future, it's here.
And then, we had a lot of food.
Yes.
It was all good. No complaint.
And then we stopped at on the
Whataburger.
Whataburger on the way back.
That was always a fun one. I had the Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwich, and that one was top shelf compared to Buffalo chicken fries.
Yeah.
Definitely tasted the flavor.
So you're saying Taco Bell needs to up its buffalo chicken-ness.
To help with that flavor profile.
And Whataburger's on point.
That is true.
Yes. I had the patty melt. First time. Enjoyed it. Recommend it. And the spicy ketchup. Always get the spicy ketchup.
You put me onto that one, and I didn't think it was a thing. I didn't know spicy ketchup was a thing.
I'm glad I'm educating you.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. So, again, we want to be Taco Bell famous, so subscribe to our YouTube page. You're going to see new content in 2020. Like the Facebook page. Let us know what you think and provide us with feedback and suggestions. Follow us on Instagram at Theprofessorsofwrestling. Share it all, spread the word, join in the discussion. I'm Dorrian. You can find me on Twitter at D2Baber.
I'm Dave. I'm at Just a Professor on Instagram and Twitter.
Cool beans. Talk to you next time.
Yep.